The perfect setup, the story opens in the Nexus Station, a massive space hub that serves as the political and trade center of the Galactic Alliance. The station orbits a dead star system, chosen specifically because no single species can claim it as their territory. For over 2,000 years, it has been the heart of galactic civilization. Ambassador Krall, a tall insectoid being from the Hive Collective, stands before the Grand Council chambers. His forearms gesture excitedly as he speaks to his aide, a small furry creature named Pip from the Trader Guild. They are discussing the newest species to petition for alliance membership, the humans from a small blue world called Earth. Everything is proceeding perfectly, Krall says, his compound eyes gleaming with satisfaction. The humans have no idea what they're walking into. The Galactic Alliance appears to be a peaceful organization dedicated to trade, diplomacy, and mutual protection. New species are welcomed with elaborate ceremonies, given advanced technology, and invited to participate in the galactic economy. On the surface, it seems like a generous system designed to help primitive civilizations advance quickly. But Krall and the other senior members of the Alliance know the truth. The entire system is an elaborate trap designed to identify and neutralize potentially dangerous species before they can become a threat to the established order. The process is simple and has been perfected over millennia. When a new species is discovered, Alliance scouts study their technology, psychology, and military capabilities. If the species appears weak or easily controlled, they are welcomed as junior members and eventually absorbed into the existing power structure. If they show signs of being dangerous or unpredictable, they are given a series of tests disguised as diplomatic missions. These tests are designed to be impossible to complete successfully. The new species is given tasks that require them to violate their own moral codes, abandon their allies, or demonstrate weakness. When they inevitably fail, the Alliance brands them as unfit for membership and uses their advanced technology to either destroy them or force them into slavery. The humans show several concerning traits, Pip notes, reading from a datapad: high aggression, rapid technological development, and unusual problem-solving abilities. Their military history is particularly troubling, Krall nods, which is why they must be dealt with carefully. We cannot afford another incident like the warrior clans of Rigel. The warrior clans had been a militaristic species that initially appeared primitive and manageable. But when faced with the Alliance's impossible tests, they had responded by declaring war on the entire galaxy. It took the combined fleets of 12 Alliance worlds to finally defeat them, and the cost had been enormous. The humans will receive the standard treatment, Krall continues. We will welcome them with fanfare, shower them with gifts and technology, and then present them with the loyalty trials. When they fail, as they inevitably will, we will have justification to eliminate them. The loyalty trials are the Alliance's masterpiece of psychological manipulation. New species are given 3 tasks that appear to test their commitment to galactic peace and cooperation. In reality, each task is designed to force the species to choose between their own survival and their moral principles. The first trial requires the new species to prove their peaceful intentions by disarming completely in the presence of Alliance representatives. Species that refuse are labeled as aggressive and warlike. Species that comply find themselves defenseless when the Alliance decides they are no longer useful. The second trial involves a loyalty test where the new species must choose between helping their own people or following Alliance orders. Those who choose their own people are branded as untrustworthy. Those who follow Alliance orders discover that they have just condemned their own kind to slavery or death. The third trial is the cruelest of all. The new species is given the opportunity to join the Alliance as full partners by participating in the subjugation of another newly discovered species. Those who refuse are eliminated for being too moral. Those who agree become complicit in the Alliance's crimes and find themselves trapped in a system they can never escape. As Krall and Pip make their final preparations for humanity's arrival, they review the files on human history. The species has a disturbing tendency toward violence, but they also show remarkable ingenuity and adaptability. Their technology is advancing at an unprecedented rate, and their military tactics are unlike anything in the Alliance databases. Perhaps we should recommend immediate elimination, Pip suggests nervously. These humans might be more dangerous than we realize. But Krall dismisses the concern. No species has ever passed the loyalty trials, he says confidently. The system is perfect. The humans will fail just like all the others, and we will deal with them accordingly. As the human diplomatic ship approaches Nexus Station, neither Krall nor any other Alliance member realizes that humanity has already begun to suspect the truth. The humans are coming to the Alliance with their own agenda, and they have no intention of playing by the established rules. The human variable, the human diplomatic vessel New Horizon, docks at Nexus Station with minimal fanfare. Unlike most species that arrive with massive delegations and elaborate ceremonies, the humans send only a small team of 3 representatives. This immediately catches the attention of Alliance observers who expected a more typical display of primitive excitement. Ambassador Lisa leads the human delegation. She is a former military intelligence officer who now works in Earth's diplomatic corps. Her background in psychological warfare and strategic planning makes her uniquely qualified to deal with potentially hostile alien civilizations. Accompanying her are Dr. Marcus, a xenobiologist and cultural analyst, and Commander Jake, a veteran space marine who serves as both bodyguard and military advisor. As they disembark, Lisa notices several things that confirm Earth's intelligence. Reports about the Alliance. The station's design prioritizes surveillance over comfort, with hidden sensors and monitoring devices everywhere. The alien species they encounter all show subtle signs of submission and fear when interacting with Alliance officials. Most telling of all, she spots several species that their databases indicate should have been spacefaring civilizations, but who now appear to be working as servants and laborers. Welcome to Nexus Station, Ambassador Krall greets them with elaborate ceremony. His translator renders his chittering speech into perfect English. The Alliance is honored to welcome humanity to the galactic community. Lisa responds with diplomatic courtesy, but she's already cataloging everything she observes. The reception committee includes representatives from 12 different species, but she notices that only 3 of them wear the insignia of full Alliance members. The others are clearly junior partners or servants. We are grateful for your invitation, Lisa replies. Earth looks forward to learning about galactic civilization and finding our place among the stars. Dr. Marcus uses the formal introductions to scan the aliens with hidden sensors built into his diplomatic credentials. His analysis confirms what Earth's scientists suspected. Several of the species show signs of genetic modification or technological implants that suggest they're being controlled rather than cooperating willingly. Commander Jake remains silent during the ceremonies, but his trained eye picks up the security arrangements around the station. The placement of guards, the types of weapons they carry, and the defensive systems he can observe all suggest that Nexus Station is designed more like a prison than a diplomatic facility. The humans are given luxurious quarters in the diplomatic sector and invited to attend a series of cultural exchanges and briefings. But Lissa notices that their movements are subtly restricted, and their communications with Earth are subject to mysterious delays and interference. During their first formal meeting with the Grand Council, the Alliance presents humanity with what they call a generous gift package. Advanced medical technology, faster-than-light communication systems, and industrial replicators are offered freely to help humanity advance their civilization quickly. This is remarkably generous, Dr. Marcus comments during the presentation. What does the Alliance expect in return? Kral's mandibles click in what the translator interprets as laughter. Nothing at all. The Alliance believes in helping younger species reach their full potential. Consider it an investment in galactic peace and prosperity. But Lisa recognizes the strategy. By making humanity dependent on Alliance technology, they can control Earth's development and create leverage for future manipulation. She politely accepts the gifts while making mental notes about which technologies Earth should reverse engineer rather than rely upon. That evening, the humans attend a reception where they meet representatives from dozens of Alliance member species. Lisa uses the social gathering to conduct informal intelligence gathering, asking seemingly innocent questions about how different species joined the Alliance and what benefits they've received. The responses paint a disturbing picture. Species after species tells similar stories. They were welcomed warmly, given advanced technology, and then gradually integrated into the Alliance hierarchy in subordinate roles. Those who tried to maintain independence or question Alliance policies found themselves facing economic sanctions, technological dependence, or mysterious accidents. I spoke with a representative from the Aquatic Federation, Dr. Marcus reports privately to Lisa. Their homeworld's oceans were accidentally poisoned by Alliance industrial processes 50 years ago. Now they're completely dependent on Alliance life support technology to survive. Commander Jake has been observing the station's security arrangements during his off-duty hours. The defensive systems are impressive, but they're all pointed inward. He notes, this place isn't designed to keep enemies out. It's designed to keep people in. As the humans prepare for their second day of meetings, they receive a message from Earth through quantum communication channels that bypass Alliance monitoring. Intelligence reports confirm their suspicions. Several species that were supposedly welcomed into the Alliance have actually been enslaved or eliminated. Others exist as puppet states, their governments controlled by Alliance operatives. The trap is well designed, Lisa admits to her team, but they're about to learn that humans don't break as easily as they expect. The trials begin on the third day of their visit. Ambassador Kral formally presents the human delegation with what he calls the loyalty trials, 3 tests designed to demonstrate humanity's commitment to galactic peace and their worthiness for full Alliance membership. These trials are a time-honored tradition, Kral explains, his compound eyes gleaming with anticipation. Every species that joins the Alliance must prove their dedication to our shared values of cooperation, loyalty, and sacrifice for the greater good. Lisa listens carefully as Kral outlines the 3 trials, immediately recognizing them for what they truly are, psychological traps, designed to force impossible choices. But instead of showing concern or confusion like previous species, she responds with what appears to be eager enthusiasm. Earth is honored to participate in these traditions, she says. We understand that trust must be earned, and we're prepared to demonstrate our commitment to galactic peace. The first trial is presented as a simple gesture of goodwill. Humanity must demonstrate their peaceful intentions by allowing Alliance inspectors to disable all weapon systems on human ships and installations within Alliance space. This includes their diplomatic vessel and any defensive systems they might have. Of course, Lisa agrees immediately. Earth believes in diplomatic solutions over military ones. We'll gladly comply with this requirement. Kral is surprised by the quick agreement, having expected at least some resistance. Unknown to him, the humans have anticipated this demand. Commander Jake has already identified all the obvious weapon systems that Alliance scanners would detect. But the ship's true defensive capabilities are hidden in systems that appear to be simple maintenance equipment. The second trial involves a loyalty test disguised as a humanitarian mission. The Alliance has received a distress call from a remote human colony that is supposedly under attack by space pirates. However, Alliance regulations prohibit direct military intervention. Instead, they offer to evacuate the colonists, but only if Earth agrees to abandon the colony permanently and relocate the survivors to an Alliance-controlled world. This is a difficult choice, Dr. Marcus says, playing his role perfectly. But if evacuation is the only way to save lives, then Earth must accept. Again, Krall is surprised by the human response. Most species either refuse the terms and are branded as selfish or discover too late that the evacuation is actually a prelude to slavery. The humans seem to be genuinely willing to sacrifice their own territory for the safety of their people. But the humans have done their research. Earth's intelligence network has already confirmed that the pirate attack is actually Alliance forces using stolen ships. The colony in question was evacuated weeks ago through secret channels, and the distress call is completely fabricated. The third trial is the most insidious. The Alliance presents the humans with intelligence about a newly discovered species called the miners, a primitive civilization that has just developed spaceflight. The Alliance claims that the miners are potentially dangerous and must be guided into proper development. They offer humanity the opportunity to demonstrate their commitment to galactic peace by participating in the miners' subjugation. Think of it as a mentorship program, Krall explains. Your species can help guide these primitives toward a more civilized existence under Alliance supervision. Lisa appears to consider the proposal carefully. Earth appreciates the opportunity to help guide younger species, she says. However, we would prefer to establish a more formal relationship with these miners first. Perhaps we could serve as cultural ambassadors rather than enforcers? This response frustrates Krall, who expected either outright refusal or eager participation. In oppression, the humans seem to be finding middle ground where none should exist. What Krall doesn't know is that Earth's intelligence network has already made contact with the miners. The primitive species is actually quite advanced, having developed cloaking technology and stealth tactics that kept them hidden from Alliance scouts for decades. They've been watching the Alliance's expansion with growing concern and are eager to find allies. As the trials progress, other Alliance members begin to take notice of humanity's unusual responses. Most species either fail quickly and dramatically, or succeed initially only to be trapped by the trial's hidden consequences. The humans seem to be navigating the tests with an understanding that shouldn't be possible for a newly contacted species. Something is wrong, Pip observes nervously. The humans are not reacting as expected. They seem to know more about our procedures than they should. Krall dismisses the concern, but privately he's beginning to worry. The humans' responses are too sophisticated, too carefully crafted. Either they're remarkably lucky, or they've somehow learned about the Alliance's true nature. During a private strategy session, the Alliance leadership makes a fateful decision. If the humans somehow pass all 3 trials, they will be eliminated. Quietly before they can return to Earth, the Alliance cannot afford to have a species that understands their methods and might warn others. They counter-known to the Alliance leadership. Their private strategy session is being monitored by human intelligence operatives. Dr. Marcus's seemingly innocent scientific equipment includes advanced surveillance technology that can intercept Alliance communications. The humans now know that regardless of how well they perform in the trials, they've been marked for elimination. They've made their choice, Lisa tells her team during their own secure meeting. Now we make ours. Commander Jake activates a hidden communication array that sends an encrypted signal toward Earth. The message is simple. Operation Lighthouse is a go. Within hours, the response comes back with equally simple confirmation. Package delivered. The next morning, the Alliance receives what appears to be a routine diplomatic message from Earth's government. The message thanks the Alliance for their hospitality and requests permission to send a larger diplomatic mission to continue negotiations. What the Alliance doesn't realize is that the message contains hidden activation codes for sleeper agents that human intelligence has been placing throughout Alliance space for the past 2 years. These agents aren't human. They're members of oppressed species who are secretly contacted by Earth's expanding intelligence network. The miners that the Alliance wants humanity to subjugate have been working with Earth for months. The primitive species actually possesses technology that can disrupt Alliance control systems, and they've been positioning their ships throughout Alliance territory. As the loyalty trials reach their conclusion, Ambassador Krau prepares to spring what he believes is the final trap. The humans have navigated all 3 trials with suspicious success, so the Alliance will now demand that they prove their loyalty by executing a group of traitors, actually innocent civilians from various member species who have been secretly working to expose Alliance crimes. This is your final test, Krau announces to the human delegation. These individuals have been spreading sedition and undermining galactic peace. As new members of the Alliance, you must demonstrate your commitment by carrying out their execution. Lisa looks at the group of alleged traitors, recognizing several faces from intelligence reports. These aren't criminals, they're resistance leaders, scientists who discovered evidence of Alliance atrocities, and former Alliance officials who tried to expose the truth. Earth appreciates the trust you're showing in us, Lisa responds calmly. However, we have a different proposal. Before Krau can react, Lisa activates a device that Commander Jake had disguised as a diplomatic recording unit. Suddenly, holographic displays spring to life throughout the Grand Council chamber, showing detailed evidence of Alliance crimes spanning centuries. The footage shows the systematic enslaving of member species, the deliberate poisoning of worlds to create dependency, and the execution of leaders who refuse to cooperate. You see, Lisa continues as Alliance security forces scramble to respond, Earth has been conducting our own investigation of the Alliance. We know about the real purpose of the loyalty trials. We know about the species you've enslaved and the worlds you've destroyed. And most importantly, we know that you never intended to let us leave here alive. Krau realizes with growing horror that the humans have been playing a game far more sophisticated than he imagined. How long have you known? He demands. Since before we arrived, Dr. Marcus answers. Earth's deep space monitoring stations detected the energy signatures of your prison ships, destroying the Harmony Coalition 3 years ago. We've been preparing for this meeting ever since. Commander Jake reveals the truth about their ship's weapon systems. What the Alliance thought they had disabled were only decoy systems. The real weapons were disguised as life support and navigation equipment, making them invisible to Alliance scanners. But the humans' masterstroke isn't their hidden weapons. It's the network of allies they've secretly assembled. The miners suddenly decloak dozens of ships throughout Alliance space. Their advanced stealth technology having kept them hidden for months. Other oppressed species begin coordinating uprisings on Alliance worlds, using equipment and intelligence provided by Earth. The trap was well designed, Lisa admits to Krau. But you made one critical error. You assumed that newly contacted species would be ignorant and isolated. You never considered that a truly advanced species would have detected your activities long before making contact. As Alliance forces try to contain the spreading rebellion, they discover that their control systems are being systematically compromised. The miners' technology disrupts their slave control implants, freeing entire populations that have been enslaved for generations. Communication networks that the Alliance uses to coordinate their forces are being hijacked to broadcast evidence of their crimes. This is impossible, Krau protests. No single species could organize this level of resistance. You're too primitive to understand our technology, Lisa smiles. That's the beauty of cooperation, Ambassador. You've spent so long dividing and conquering that you forgot what happens when species actually work together. Earth didn't come here to join your alliance. We came here to destroy it. Liberation, the battle for Nexus Station, is unlike anything the Alliance has ever faced. Instead of the desperate, hopeless resistance they're used to crushing, they find themselves fighting a coordinated campaign that spans multiple star systems. Earth's strategy isn't to defeat the Alliance through superior firepower, but to liberate their victims and turn the Alliance's own strength against them. Commander Jake leads the tactical operations from the human diplomatic ship, which reveals its true nature as a heavily armed intelligence vessel. The ship's hidden weapon systems systematically disable Alliance security forces while avoiding civilian casualties. But the real battle is being fought by the Alliance's former victims. The miners demonstrate why the Alliance was right to fear them. Their ships phase in and out of normal space, appearing long enough to disable Alliance vessels before vanishing again. Their technology is based on principles that Alliance scientists never understood, making their attacks impossible to predict or counter. On Alliance worlds throughout the galaxy, slave populations begin throwing off their shackles. The control implants that kept them docile for generations shut down as minor disruption technology spreads through hidden networks. Species that haven't seen freedom for centuries suddenly remember what they're fighting for. Dr. Marcus coordinates the information warfare campaign, broadcasting evidence of Alliance crimes on every communication channel in the galaxy. The revelations are devastating. Entire species thought to be extinct are revealed to be enslaved in Alliance labor camps. Worlds that supposedly joined the Alliance voluntarily are shown to have been conquered and their populations replaced with compliant clones. The truth is spreading faster than we can contain it. Pip reports to Kral in panic. Our member species are demanding explanations. Several worlds are already declaring independence. Kral watches his carefully constructed empire crumble in real time. The Alliance's power was always based on deception and division. Once their lies were exposed and their victims united, their downfall was inevitable. How did the humans know? He asks desperately. How did they discover our methods? Before making contact? Lisa, who has been monitoring Alliance communications, answers his question. Because humans have been the victims of similar systems before. Throughout our history, we've seen empires that used false promises and impossible choices to control their subjects. We recognize the pattern because we've broken free from it ourselves. The final blow comes when the Alliance's most trusted lieutenants, species that have served as enforcers for centuries, suddenly turn against their masters. Earth's intelligence network had made contact with resistance movements within these species, offering them a chance at redemption in exchange for their help in liberating other worlds. You don't understand, Kral pleads as Alliance forces throughout the galaxy surrender or defect. The galaxy needs the Alliance. Without central control, there will be chaos, war, conflict between species. Maybe, Lisa admits. But that's a choice the galaxy should make for itself, not have imposed by a tyrannical empire. As Nexus Station falls to the combined liberation forces, the scope of the Alliance's crimes becomes clear. Hidden beneath the diplomatic levels are vast prison complexes holding the leadership of conquered species. Entire civilizations that were thought to be extinct are found alive in cryogenic storage, preserved as potential slaves or test subjects. The Aquatic Federation representatives that Dr. Marcus had spoken with earlier reveal that their species wasn't accidentally poisoned. It was a deliberate attack designed to make them dependent on Alliance technology. Similar atrocities stretch back thousands of years, affecting hundreds of species. What happens now? Asks one of the liberated prisoners, an elderly being from a species that had been enslaved for over a millennium. Now you rebuild, Commander Jake answers. Earth will help with resources and technology, but the decisions about your future belong to you. The human approach to post-liberation governance surprises everyone. Instead of setting up their own Empire or demanding tribute, Earth offers technical assistance and protection, while encouraging each species to develop their own independent governments. The humans seem genuinely committed to the principle of self-determination. Dr. Marcus establishes the Galactic Truth and Reconciliation Commission, dedicated to documenting alliance crimes and helping victims recover. The miners provide security. Their advanced technology, ensuring that no species can again be enslaved without the galaxy knowing about it. Ambassador Krall, facing trial for crimes against entire civilizations, makes one final attempt to justify his actions. The Alliance brought order to the galaxy. We prevented wars, eliminated dangerous species, created stability. You created a prison, Lisa responds, and you called it peace. But true peace can only exist between free peoples who choose to cooperate, not between masters and slaves. As Earth's diplomatic mission prepares to return home, they leave behind a transformed galaxy. The Alliance's former victims are building new alliances based on mutual respect rather than fear. The trap that was designed to ensnare humanity has instead become the key to galactic liberation. The humans had arrived expecting to face a trap, and they had been right. But they had also brought the tools to break it, forever changing the balance of power among the stars.